So just know that your best years are ahead of you and you are never too old and it's never too late.
This is probably the loneliest I've ever felt in my life. And I'm in therapy and I'm in a codependency group.
I'm so done. You have so much leverage and so many options, I can't even tell you.
When the check came, he asked me for $6.
Definitely think that I will stay alone forever. My God.
Jesus Christ. Are we not opening doors anymore? Are we not doing that?
Never used a dating app in your life? Well, the good news is you're about to have so much fun.
Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another session with the Older Man. Today, my friends, we're going to dive deep into the modern woman's life cycle. And this one is a bit controversial, and I got this off of Pearl Davis' channel because I found it so bloody enlightening. But I want to expand on it a bit because I think she missed a few cycles that women go through. So my friends, listen, subscribe, book a session if you're having any problems at all with life. My friends, I am here as an older man, mentor, brother, uncle to help you. Ladies, please feel free to give me a call if you need help from a man's perspective. And of course, pick up my Content Creators Toolkit to help you create some great content to bring in some residual and passive income for the year 2025 and beyond using the power of AI, my friends. I show you how to create content easily, whether it's for YouTube, producing books, courses, or any other digital content that you will be able to sell online. I'm teaching you how to do it, my friends. So let's get started with how Pearl starts the life cycle.
So have you heard of the modern woman life cycle?
Well, you have talked about it in the past, but I'm not really up to speed on it.
So we have a modern woman life cycle, which we're going to go over. I'm going to tell you. And I want you to see if it's if it lines up with what you've seen out there.
Okay.
So number one, go to some high-priced institution to get a degree no one cares about to put ourselves in debt. Barely learn anything except how to use men for things.
Sounds legit. But back in the day, women used to go to college just to get their husband.
Yeah, but come on, we're in 2024.
That doesn't, yeah.
Could you?
All right. So for her, that's where she starts a life cycle. I say it starts before that because I think that is the result of a problem that we have. Okay? She's been sold on the idea that she needs her education in order to get a good job. Great. But the problem is not every woman goes to college. So the woman that does not go to college, the modern woman, she would leave high school and join OnlyFans, or she would start getting on social media and she would start creating content. That content would usually create more risque content. She would then advertise herself on Instagram. And then she would start getting flown out to various places around the world, Dubai, etc., etc. We cannot ignore that woman because that is also a very large swath of women in Western society. Now, not all of them end up on OnlyFans, but a large majority of them either end up pregnant early, having to get some sort of crappy job, and depending on child support from the government. That's the other route that the majority of Western women take. So we cannot ignore that group. Yes, Pearl is correct. A lot of women go to college, end up spending way too much money on college loans, and end up in debt. Let's go to number two. Let's go to, I would call it number three, but let's hear what else Pearl has to say.
Stop selling dreams. What are you doing?
No, you're right. You're right. You're getting manipulated now.
Okay. Number two, get a job that's too stressful and does not care about them. In reality, the job is not that stressful, but we will complain about it.
Here's another thing, is they'll swear up and down they will never be a slave to a husband, but they are more than willing to be a slave to a corporate overlord who will replace them at a whim.
At a whim.
And you have no recourse.
You could die tomorrow. They'll have your job posted.
That's right.
The next day.
You are completely expendable in the corporate world. And if you think you're not, you are smoking something other than a pole with two dick brains on it.
What about women that think they have a family at work, like a work family?
Yeah, that is a bunch of bull crap. Because I tell you right now, the minute you leave that office, you are going to be the center of all of the gossip and frenemies that you thought were your friends.
Yes, this is so true. And here's the issue. Just like the women think that they can divorce a man if she had it, she thinks that she could leave one job and jump to the next. And this is usually fine during her early days, right? When she's young and sprightly. Problem occurs when she gets into her late 30s and 40s, where the majority of experience that she now has can now be done by a 20-year-old with technology, specifically AI or any other modern tools that she failed to adapt with. Now, this doesn't just happen with women, it also happens with men as well. But the difference between males and females is that when a woman loses her job, the consequences can be much more severe because usually women carry much more debt. Women have much more debt in order for her to maintain than men do. So a loss of a job is much more severe on most women.
Next, we have ignore the student debt, buy a house, travel, or get a luxury car.
Okay. Well, ignoring the student debt will only work in the short term. It will come back to bite you in the ass later on. Luxury cars, literally, you roll it off the lot, you're losing 30% of its value the minute the tires hit the public streets.
We're not trying to be logical here.
I'm just saying. This is how a man thinks. Women are like, oh, it's so good. I will drive it by my frenemy's house and make them jealous.
Also overspend on things like plastic surgery, expensive gyms,
what
fake
about
hair,
the
fake nails, and handbags.
Oh my God, the handbags. Yeah.
But remember, they have debt, so they can't afford it.
Most of them really can't afford the lives that they have now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like they're literally walking around in some kind of marijuana pipe dream smoke cloud. And unfortunately, when they're about 30-ish is when that wears off. And reality has been saving up one hell of a mule kick to kick them right in the box.
That's next. So wake up at
This is the problem. A lot of women wake up way too late. But the debt is what's killing a lot of them. A lot of you guys got to understand, before you get involved with any woman and think about tying her down, you have to realize that she's carrying a burden with her. Consumer debt amounts the majority of women, 85% of the women carry a tremendous amount of debt. They carry the large majority of debt in the Western world. They need to flex. They need to flex to their friends. They need all the enhancements, the stupid amount of makeup. So when you hear them saying, I ain't settling for no 50-50, they are begging you to take 100% of their debt. They're begging you. That's when they're starting the negotiation. But they don't realize that they're negotiating with a diminishing asset, their beauty and their fertility.
Help me figure this out. I think I'm pretty cute. But nobody ever hits on me. And I go out. I go to places by myself. I'm not expecting anybody to pay my bills or pay for my dinner. But nobody ever hits on me. Look, I'm alright. Why? And don't be like, oh, don't say I'm intimidating. It's because they're intimidating.
It's diminishing as they hold out and hold out and hold out. I'm not settling. You know what? This is almost, to me, I know I'm talking to the choir, gentlemen. But it just has to be said over and over again so that you guys will hold the reins and not fall into the trap of women manipulating you. Because the manipulation game by women, it's good. Oh, it's good. It's freaking amazing. Just please don't fall for it. They will flash that punani and those titties in your face. They're trying to trap you into taking care of their bad behavior. If it's not another man's seed, it's their debt. That's usually modern woman's biggest problem.
That's next. So wake up at 33 to 37, rush to get a husband, kids, or both. The fastest growing group of single mothers are women between the ages of 33 and 37, and only 2% of births come from insemination and 2% come from IVF. Where are these women getting their kids from? Well, a buzzer beater baby, or a buzzer beater husband and baby, or Pookie or Ray Ray.
So the buzzer beater, you mean the Hail Mary pass?
Yeah, Hail Mary.
All right. Now, typically, if you find yourself, gentlemen, in this category, you are just the breeding stock The minute she's done having kids, you're going to get ejected, and you're going to have to pay that check for 18 to 21 years, depending upon the state that you are in. Don't fall for it.
Marry a naive or desperate guy with no options.
Yes, because that is so attractive. That's why they're going to rotate you out. You're there to...
No standards either.
No.
Yeah.
You're there to, make basically a delivery directly to the warehouse, and hopefully she gets pregnant, and yeah, you'll be a father watching your children grow up and fast forward as you're living in poverty.
Hit late 30s and early 40s. Try to get pregnant by a loser or IVF. Then start antidepressants at 40. 24% of women between 40 to 59 are taking antidepressants.
That's an old stat. That's like almost 10 years old now, I believe. So I think that's 1/3.
I'll check to see if it is 1/3 now.
Yeah, and also, I mean, they don't just start taking the head meds in 40. They're taking them like out of high school now.
Yeah, I've heard in college they're like going nuts over it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand what I just understand the headspace that's going on with the ladies of today. They have like totally been swamped by social media. They believe all the hype and lies. Because listen, feminism is not your friend. You're not going to be able to have it all. Or let's check that. Let me correct. You can have it all, but you will only do it half as well. Last time I checked, a 50% is a failing grade. So yes, you can have it all, and you will fail at it all.
My take on this is, yeah, women, you can have it all, but not all at the same time. You can excel at your job, but you're not going to be a great mom. You can be a great mom, but it's impossible to be sitting at the office grinding away, putting in 60 hours a week. It's impossible for you to be a great mom doing that. You're going to have to outsource that. Keeping up your cooking skills while doing that and flying, having to travel and do all these other things for the boss. No, it's not going to work. Now, you could have your kids first. When you're young, you're fertile, you have energy, and you can go to school part-time. This is how I'm trying to teach my daughters. To advance your education, you have good basic 2 years of college straight after high school. You find a good guy in college in your first 2 years, and that's what you see as your prospect as for getting married. Get married, you have your kids, because men want young, fertile women. Every man does. You attract the man that you want because you have many options, many options. After that's done, you then do your advanced education. When your kid is old enough to be in school, you could be doing school as well. You don't have to do it full-time, you do it part-time. You do a lot of the courses online. That's how my wife did her master's. And in the meantime, you'll have the support of a husband, and you don't have to stress out about a lot of things. By the time your kid is in her teens or his teens, you might want to go back into the job market. But at least you had the best years of your child's life, the developing years. You were able to groom that child the way you wanted them to be groomed, not by some child care or daycare center. And you know what? Your education has still been sharpened because you took time to do it. Life isn't easy, my friends. You got to pick your hard, as they say. But it's much easier having a child going to school and having a supportive husband and another income that's going to help you support the child. It's better for the child, and it's better for your mental health as well. That's the best deal you're going to get.
Do you really want that? That doesn't sound very good.
Which takes us to our next point. Maybe love the child, but hate him for having to settle. Or have the state raise your kid, or have daycare raise your kid.
Actually, the daycare thing is very common. My children had to go to daycare, and it was interesting.
Or resent the children for having to give up her hobbies. Now, men give up hobbies all the time for a family.
Oh, in a
you have
heartbeat.
you have less free time. You have to give up things you like doing. But for some reason, women say they are losing themselves when they can't do the same things they did before they had children.
So, yeah, they hold a grudge. And you don't even know about this grudge. It's literally running in the background of their software. It's like a virus. One day you're just doing your thing. It's the same day as every other day before it. And then, boom, I'm not happy. I'm going to Titanic your entire life. Wow! And then they go completely batshit crazy. And you're like, how did we get here? What flow chart of insanity am I on?
Yeah.
Yes, and I've spoken about this many times. Every woman wants a relationship and still act single because they think that their whole world should run on happiness. But what's the definition of happiness? She said hobbies. What is hobbies? What are hobbies? Traveling. I did traveling. I went on a lot of traveling. In other words, you spend all of your disposable income and then you put a lot of freaking tickets on your credit card that you're now in debt for the next 10 years trying to pay back for your traveling. Going staying at some hotel, some resort, getting rubbed down by couple of guys out on some raft in some Caribbean island because you guys don't travel. You go on tourist resorts, some package deal done for you by some freaking resort that knows that all you guys want is a lot of booze, some hot guy to rub you down, some nightlife, some weed, or stuffing your gob hole with food. Pretty much that's it. Most of you just want to be Instagrammable and you push the one tourist trap and one tourist attraction after the next. Oh, look at me, Eiffel Tower. Oh, look at me, pyramids. Holding up their hands on holding the pyramid. Oh, look at me, getting my soft girl Arab being rubbed on by a man on a raft in Jamaica. That's not traveling. It's the same shit that you can get anywhere else. Do you know what traveling is? Traveling is going to hang out with the locals and going into local joints and going into places where tourists don't go. That's traveling. The kind of crap that you guys get trapped into, and take it from me. I come from a Caribbean island that caters to all of you that do this crap. Usually it's the same experience most of you get somewhere else. Packaged entertainment. Put on a VR headset, sit in your living room, you get the same damn thing. But you end up in a shitload of debt just to do it. Make that shit make sense. A shameless plug. All right, I think probably got one more.
Insanity am I on?
Yeah, we do. Now, last in the modern woman life cycle is to buy a dog or a cat, divorce your husband if you got one, and die alone.
Box wine in Catland. 40 to 80 is a long fucking time. And you put yourself there, and you deserve it, ladies. Quit whining and complaining about it. Oh, I'm sorry. That's what you do at your stock and trade.
Yeah, so what do you think about that? Accurate? Did I miss anything?
It's fairly accurate, yeah. I would say that the head meds start a little earlier.
Where would you put that starting at?
In the college.
Wow, head meds, psych drugs. Man, listen, guys, let me know what you think about that rundown. I think she's pretty accurate. She's hit the nail on the head on that one. Like he said, 40 to 80 is a long time, my friends. That 40-year span, if you have not accumulated enough funds and investments to take you into those later years, you are literally going to be living out of a car until that car breaks down, and then life is going to come to a horrible end. You're going to either end up in a shelter somewhere, where a lot of you are ending up, or you're going to end up on the streets. Make sure you get involved with a relationship. You be loyal, you be devoted to that man, and you build a life with that man, focusing on a future that you can take into your later years. Trust me on this. If you're not doing 50-50 right now and sticking with it, and a lot of the money that you're saving going into an investment, ladies, you're going to be screwed. And with this world of AI, I can guarantee you without a doubt, if you're not looking at making some residual income or making some extra income somewhere online, you're going to be left in the cold, because AI and robotics are going to slap reality into a lot of you very soon now.
Okay, so there's a lot of conversations about AI. I recently lost my job to AI, ChatGPT. I'm a copywriter, and small businesses basically realized that that service is less expensive than hiring me, even though I don't make very much money, which sucked. So then So I'm applying to jobs, and it's really, really, really hard to get a job right now. Like, really hard. I don't know where. They said a labor shortage. Where? Who? No. That lies. I almost said fake news, but no. I finally get like an exciting prospect, and I'm like, they want a content writer. That's great. They're actually going to pay me a decent amount, or a livable wage. A livable wage. This is not something to call home about, but like more than $0, which is what I'm currently making, because my employer wouldn't call me an employee. I was technically working freelance, even though I was working full time. So I never got benefits, and I don't get unemployment. Anyways, so I got this exciting new job prospect. They seem really eager to interview me. They need a writer just like me. And, you know, they need someone to start immediately. It only lasts 6 months, but like, it's a good enough contract where that might be fine.
This is not a joke, my friends. Take it from an older man. Change is coming, and it's going to be painful for a lot of women. And the reason I say women is because a lot of women have soft-skilled jobs. Those are the very jobs that AI is going to take away. There's no easier way to say that. Make sure you secure your future, ladies. I'm rooting for each and every one of you. You got to change your ways. You got to stop this bullshit that you're doing right now. You better get out there and fight for a man right now and hold on to him. Okay? So my friends, hey, subscribe, please. Book a session. Join the membership system, and let's have a deeper discussion on this issue. So until next time, remember, whenever in doubt, always ask an older man. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.